In today's video, let's look at how to modify child's pose for people who have bigger bodies. My name is Zelinda, and I specialize in teaching yoga so that people with all kinds of bodies can participate and benefit. Child's pose is a kneeling posture where theoretically we try to sit with the knees together and the feet together. We try to rest our bottoms on our heels while extending the torso forward, extending the arms forward, and theoretically we should be able to rest our chest and forehead down on the floor. So let me show you what it looks like. My feet are together, my knees are together. I'm trying to sit back down on my heels while stretching forward with my torso and my arms. And you can see here that with my body, this posture doesn't exactly work. My hips are not able to sit down on my feet, and I'm not able to rest my chest down or my head down. So let's look at some options for how we can make this posture work better. There are lots of options, so we're going to look at a lot of different details. The first one is when you have achy knees, kneeling directly onto the floor or the mat may not be comfortable for you. So what you can do is you can use a blanket, or maybe if you have an extra yoga mat, you can use that for a little bit of extra padding. And you can place it under your knees. For some extra padding, let's see if this works. So my knees are more comfortable, but still my hips are not able to reach down and my chest and forehead are not able to reach down. So let's see what else we can do. I'm going to experiment with just this one blanket because it's what I have available. So let's pretend now that the knees are comfortable, and instead what we're trying to do is figure out a way for the hips to rest down. So what I've done now is rolled up this blanket, and I'm going to put it between my feet and see if now I'm able to keep my hips resting down on the height of the blanket, even if they can't reach all the way down to my heels. So let's see. This is a little bit better. I'm a little bit better supported in my seat, but still my chest is up and my head is up. So let's see what else we can do. Another thing we can try is putting this rolled up blanket across the back of the ankles, and that lets me sit up a little bit higher. So let's see how this goes. Okay, yeah. So now my hips are able to reach down, but still my chest and head are floating. So we're getting somewhere. We're getting toward a solution. Let's now switch this blanket around to a new position and try to work on resting the chest and the head down. So you can take your same rolled up blanket or a second one if you have it, or perhaps a bolster, and you can use this as a support for resting your chest and head on. Let's see if this works. Feet are together, knees are together, torso's reaching forward. Let's see, I'm going to move that a little bit closer. Yeah, not exactly. I'm still not... kind of, but I still feel kind of like I'm suspended. So not exactly right yet. Here's another option you can do. So the challenge I'm having is that my belly is running into my legs. And one great solution is to just take the knees wider. So taking the knees wider, let's go ahead and continue using this rolled up blanket and see if this is better. Much better. Okay. Look what I've also naturally done. I've bent my elbows to give me a bit of support. And I'm just going to turn my face sideways. Okay, this is okay. This is kind of comfortable. I may need some extra padding under my knees if my knees are achy. My hips are floating in the air a little bit, but at least I'm able to rest my chest and my head down. All right, so we've looked at lots of options on how to make this posture work. If you have a whole bunch of props, maybe one blanket for under your knees, maybe one or two blocks or a bolster to sit on, and then maybe one or two blankets or bolsters to rest your chest and your head on, you can achieve what this posture is meant to achieve in terms of stretching out in the ankles, getting a deep bend in your knees, a deep bend in your hips, lengthening your spine, relaxing your back, and stretching your arms forward, which helps to relax your shoulders and maybe even your neck. But do we really want to put so much effort into this posture? Child's pose is a very frequently taught yoga posture. You for sure have seen it in many yoga classes and many videos. But if you've practiced with my videos before, you probably have noticed that I almost never teach child's pose. And this is exactly why. It doesn't work for very many people because of all the issues that we've just looked at. In my teaching, the concept of ahimsa, as you probably know, is very important. Ahimsa means non-harm, and so in the yoga practice, that means that we're practicing in a way that's comfortable for our body, and also practicing in a way that's not causing any harm in our minds. So let me elaborate on this for just a minute here. What I mean is that if we're in a class where the teacher is teaching child's pose and we're not comfortable doing the posture, or we have to bring out a whole bunch of yoga props to be able to accomplish the posture, we start to maybe think there's some ideas creeping in that maybe my body is not suitable for the yoga practice. And I'm just not okay with that. I want everyone to feel that when they're practicing yoga, the yoga practice is suitable for them. So in my teaching, I think about what function I'm trying to accomplish in the body. If, for example, I'm trying to work on stretching out in the low back, there are ways to do that besides child's pose. We could work on downward facing dog. We could work on a downward facing dog variation. If I want a different kind of benefit for the body, for example, we're stretching out the ankles when we do child's pose. There's different ways to do that. We could do that while we're lying on our backs. We could do that in a sitting position or even in a standing position. If I want to stretch out in the shoulders and in the upper back like we do in child's pose, I know that we can accomplish those goals with other postures. For example, warrior is a great way to stretch out in your shoulders and in your upper back. And you could also do something, very different, like maybe triangle or triangle with twist. Those are also great ways to accomplish that goal of stretching out in your upper back and in your shoulders. So I'd like to invite you to reflect on your current yoga practice. If it includes lots of child's pose or other type of postures that don't exactly work well for your body, is it the right practice for you? Please know that you can always choose to skip yoga poses. If you're going to a yoga class or practicing with a video that includes child's pose, you could use that time to do something else. You could rest, you could do a breathing practice, or you could do just some completely different yoga posture. It is always okay to customize the practice to suit your body. If you have any comments or any questions about these ideas that I've shared with you today, I would love to hear from you in the comments. Thank you for being here. Thanks for watching. Thank you for being a part of my community, and I'll see you in the next video. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please click the like button. And if you're new here, please subscribe and click the notification bell so you won't miss my next video. I'll see you next time.